Victor, Victor Foxtrot, calling the Mecklenburg Simplex Net. And my name is Tony, and that's spelled Tango, Oscar, November, Yankee. And I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina, 1 mile north of the I-85, I-77 interchange. And I'm currently using an omnidirectional antenna. We'll switch to a directional antenna later in the net to take additional check-ins. And of course, this net meets weekly on Sunday evenings at 8:30 p.m. local time on a frequency of 147.505 megahertz simplex. And we don't have any tone or offset on this, and because we like keeping simplex simple. In the event that this frequency were to be busy, we would move up 20 kilohertz to 147.525 megahertz simplex. So if you don't hear us here, pop up 20 kilohertz and we'll probably be there. And the purpose of this net is to ensure the proper operation, maintenance, and readiness of your communication equipment, to prepare amateur radio operators with training and experience for reliable simplex communications in the event that repeaters are not available, and to provide an opportunity to meet other amateurs interested in simplex communications. And of course, for best results on simplex, it is highly suggested that you turn off the squelcher of your radio so that you can better hear the weaker stations. And when checking in, please provide your call sign using the phonetic alphabet. Then go ahead and give me your name, your location, and whether you're going to be sticking around for the rag-chew portion of the net. And of course, if you hear a station attempting to check in that is not heard by net control, please indicate by using the word relay. And the first thing we have to do before we start taking any check-ins is see if there's any stations with emergency or priority traffic. Please call Kilo Echo 4 Victor Victor Foxtrot. So many mosquitoes bit me through my Alrighty, here in those stations with traffic, we'll go ahead and take regular check-ins. Any station, any call sign, Alpha through Zulu. Please call Kilo Echo 4 Victor Victor Foxtrot. Victor Foxtrot. Tony, if you got a copy, please. Dwayne and Belmont, mobile. Hey, that's great.
KE4 VVF, please check in. KU4XO, Kilo Uniform 4, X-Ray Oscar, mobile. And the name here is Matt, Mike Alpha Tango Tango, and I'll be around.
And somebody but that's control. Yep.
Hey Tony, please check in and out. Kilo 2, Juliet, Mike, Charlie, Johnny West Charlotte.
Yeah, I tell you. KE4 VVF. All the way up there just to do that. Good evening, Tony, and everybody on the net. Please check in Whiskey 2 Romeo Oscar Delta. That's W2ROD Rodney in Harrisburg. And I'll hang around with you.
KE4 VVF.
KE4 VVF.
Kilo Foxtrot 5.
Tony, if you can copy, I've got you on, we're weak, but on your Omni up here in Lincoln, please check in and out Whiskey Bravo 4. KE4 VVF. WD4UD. Howard and Lincoln.
Tony, please check in and out November 4 Bravo X-Ray Bravo. It's Shelby.
Y'all have a good net, 7-3s.
Greg, I missed my PR40.
Say again.
I missed my PR40.
I hear you. Well, let me go ahead and break right there. And there was a couple of doubles. I don't think I pulled some of those doubles out. So if you don't hear your name, right after I confirm everybody, we're going to go ahead and give everybody else a chance to check back in. And the first person night I heard was W4GYL George in South Charlotte, and I got you in and out, George, and thanks for coming by. Then I heard Matt, KU4XO. Did I get your call sign right, Matt?
That's right. Kilo Uniform 4, X-Ray Oscar, mobile. Name here's Matt.
All right, Matt, and I got you down for sticking around. And FYI, I'll go through on the omnidirectional antenna, and then I'll go through on a directional antenna, and then we'll go to Rag 2. So it'll be about 20 minutes. Is that all right?
Yep, we'll be around for the duration. I'll be here until everything shuts down.
All right, thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. Then I heard K2JMC John in West Charlotte. Got you in and out, John, and good to hear from you, John. I haven't gotten to talk to you in a long time, and I hope we really do get a chance to do that again soon. Then I heard W2ROD Rodney in Harrisburg, and I got you down here for sticking around, Rodney. Then I heard KF5JJW Diane down in South Charlotte, and I got you in and out, Diane. And thanks for checking in. I appreciate it. And let's see. I think I missed you on field day today, or yesterday, both days. Look forward to seeing you again, Diane. Then I heard W4UD Howard in Lincolnton, and I got you in and out, Howard. And thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. And there were a couple other stations in there that I heard part of what you said, but I didn't get it all. And if you could, go ahead and please check in again. If I didn't recognize you, please call KE4VVF.
KE4VVF. November 4, Bravo, X-Ray Bravo, Herb and Shelby, in and out.
And that is pleased to recognize November 4, Bravo, X-Ray Bravo, Herb and Shelby. Can you hear me good, Herb? Are you guys still doing the Simplex Net instead of your repeater net, or are you going back to regular schedule?
Yeah, I'm copying you okay. Good bit of white noise, but I'm copying you. Going back to the Simplex Net tomorrow night.
For this radio, I think alrighty, cool. And those of you who aren't regular check-ins here on the net, Herb N4BXB calls the Cleveland County Amateur Radio Society CCARS net. They do a Simplex Net once a month. They're normally on a repeater, but they once a month they do a Simplex Net, and you said that's tomorrow, right, Herb?
Yeah, Tony, I messed up there. Tomorrow night is repeater net as usual, but the following Monday, the first Monday night of the month, will be Simplex. You got that now?
Ah, okay. Yep, and it's the first Monday of the month. They do a Simplex Net on this frequency at 9 p.m. So on 147.505 at 9 p.m. on the first Monday of the month, the CCARS group does a Simplex Net. And thank you, Herb. I appreciate you checking in.
Yeah, listen, I'm guys in Charlotte. Okay, catch you later. N4BXB.
And let's see. Before I go to the directional antenna, are there any other stations who wish to check in? Any station, any call sign, Alpha through Zulu, please call Kilo Echo 4 Victor Foxtrot. Alrighty, here, no further check-ins on the omnidirectional antenna. This is KE4VVF. I'm going to go ahead and switch to directional antenna, and the first direction that I'm going to point is north, so please stand by. This is KE4VVF calling the Mecklenburg Simplex Net. I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina, 1 mile north of the I-85, I-77 interchange. And my directional antenna is pointed north, which is towards North Charlotte, Huntersville, Mooresville, and Statesville. I'll now be taking check-ins. Any station, any call sign, Alpha through Zulu. Please call Kilo Echo 4 Victor Victor Foxtrot. Oh, let's shout one more time to the north, which is towards North Charlotte, Huntersville, Mooresville, and Statesville. Any stations in those areas or even further north, if you can hear me, please call Kilo Echo 4 Victor Victor Foxtrot. Hearing no further stations to the north, I'll now turn my directional antenna to point northeast of my location. This is KE4 VVF calling the Mecklenburg Simplex Net. I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina, 1 mile north of the I-85, I-77 interchange. And my directional antenna is now pointed northeast, which is towards northeast Charlotte, Concord, and Kannapolis. I'll now be taking check-ins. Any station, any call sign, Alpha through Zulu. Please call Kilo Echo 4 Victor Victor Foxtrot. KE4 VVF. Evening, Tony. Please check in KE4 Echo Hotel Charlie, Mike in Charlotte. And as please recognize, Kilo Echo 4 Echo Hotel Charlie. And that's Mike in East Charlotte. And you're sticking around, right, Mike? Yes, sir. Alrighty, it was good seeing you at Field Day yesterday. And let's see, since we're still pointed northeast, which is towards northeast Charlotte, Concord, and Kannapolis, any stations in those areas who wish to check in or even further northeast, if you can hear me, please call Kilo Echo 4 Victor Victor Foxtrot. Here, no further stations wishing to check in from the northeast. I'll now turn my directional antenna to point east of my location. This is K4 VVF calling the Mecklenburg Simplex Net. I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina, 1 mile north of the I-85, I-77 interchange, and my directional antenna is now pointed east, which is towards East Charlotte, University, Harrisburg, Midland, and Locust. I'll not be taking check-ins. Any station, any call sign, Alpha through Zulu. Please call Kilo Echo 4 Victor Victor Foxtrot. KE4 VVF. Here is Kilo Golf 4 Zulu Juliet Foxtrot Dennis in Gastonia. I'll be out after formal. And I think I heard Dennis. Kilo Golf 4 Zulu Juliet Foxtrot, Dennis in Gastonia. Was that you, Dennis? I could just barely hear you. Roger, roger. All right, Dennis, I got you down on the log, and thanks for checking in. I appreciate it. And I didn't hear you so good tonight, but I'm kind of pointed the opposite direction from you on the Aggies, so my apologies. And since I'm still pointed to the east, which is towards East Charlotte, University, Harrisburg, Midland, and Locust, any stations in those areas or even further east, if you can hear me, please call Kilo Echo 4 Victor Victor Foxtrot. Hearing no further stations to the east, I'll now turn my directional antenna to point southeast, southeast of my location. This is KE4 VVF calling the Mecklenburg Simplex Net. I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina, 1 mile north of the I-85, I-77 interchange. And my directional antenna is pointed southeast, which is towards southeast Charlotte, Matthews, Indian Trail, Monroe, and Pageland. I'll now be taking check-ins. Any station, any call sign, Alpha through Zulu. Please call Kilo Echo 4 Victor Victor Foxtrot.
Net Control. Please check in. Whiskey 504, November Charlie Quebec, WB4NCQ, Cliff, East Charlotte. Good evening, Tony and all the net. Please check me in and out tonight. I believe I'll just bail, and appreciate you having the net.
And as please recognize, WB4NCQ, Cliff in East Charlotte, and I got you in and out, Cliff, and I understand this has been a busy weekend this weekend with field day, and yeah, I probably won't be around for the really late night drag to tonight. I'm tired, and thanks for checking in, Cliff. I appreciate it. And let's see, while I'm still pointed southeast, which is towards southeast Charlotte, Matthews, Indian Trail, Monroe, and Pageland, any station in those areas who wish to check in, or even further southeast, if you can hear me, please call Kilo Echo 4 Victor Victor Foxtrot. Hearing no further stations to the southeast, I'll now turn my direction antenna to point south of my location. This is KE4 VVF calling the Mecklenburg Simplex Net. I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina, 1 mile north of the I-85 I-77 interchange. And my directional antenna is now pointed south, which is towards Center City, South Charlotte, Pineville, Fort Mill, and Rock Hill. I'll now be taking check-ins. Any station, any call sign, Alpha through Zulu. Please call Kilo Echo 4 Victor Victor Foxtrot. Well, let's shout one more time to the south, which is towards Center City, South Charlotte, Pineville, Fort Mill, and Rock Hill. Any station in those areas, or even further south, if you can hear me, please call Kilo Echo 4 Victor Victor Foxtrot.
KE4 VVF. Tony, if you have a copy, please check in and out. KG4 FSR, Dwayne, Mobile, and Belmont.
I heard a station out there, but I could not resolve the audio. Do I have a relay on that station?
Yeah, that was Dwayne, Kilo Golf 4, Foxtrot, Sierra Radio.
All right, thank you. And thank you, Matt. I think that's you, Matt, right?
Check.
All right. Yeah, did he have a location, or where's that?
Dwayne, what's your location?
Mobile and Belmont.
Okay, he's mobile in Belmont.
All right, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And he's usually in, and I'll put him down as in. He might get home by the time we get to him, and I know I'll be talking to him later after the net anyway. And thank you, Matt, for the relay. I appreciate it. And this is KE4 VVF calling the Mecklenburg Simplex Net. And my directional antenna is still pointed south, which is towards Center City, South Charlotte, Pineville, Fort Mill, and Rock Hill. Any stations in those areas or even further south, if you can hear me, please call Kilo Echo 4 Victor Victor Foxtrot. Not hearing no further stations to the south. I'll now turn my directional antenna 2 points southwest of my location. KE4 VVF calling the Mecklenburg Simplex Net. I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina, 1 mile north of the I-85, I-77 interchange, in case you got a directional antenna you want pointed at me. And my directional antenna is pointed southwest, which is towards southwest Charlotte, Lake Wiley, Clover, and York. I'll now be taking check-ins, any station, any call sign, Alpha through Zulu. Please call Kilo Echo 4 Victor Victor Foxtrot. I'll let shout one more time to the southwest, which is towards southwest Charlotte, Lake Wiley, Clover, and York. Any stations in those areas or even further southwest, if you can hear me, please call Kilo Echo 4 Victor Victor Foxtrot. Hearing no further stations to the southwest, I'll now turn my directional antenna 2 point west of my location. This is KE4 VVF calling the Mecklenburg Simplex Net. I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina, 1 mile north of the I-85, I-77 interchange. And my directional antenna is now pointed west, which is towards West Charlotte, Belmont, Gastonia, Kings Mountain, and Shelby. I'll now be taking check-ins, any station, any call sign, Alpha through Zulu. Please call Kilo Echo 4 Victor Victor Foxtrot.
Let me check this N4BXB, Tony. Let me check and see if Dale's there. Dale, are you on the frequency tonight? Was it net?
Yes, this is KK4SMB. Please check me in and out there, Tony, if you got a copy of me.
Tony, did you copy Dale?
Oh yeah, Herb. Yep. And the net is, please recognize KK4SMV Dale in Ellenboro. And please thank Dale. I know he has a hard time hearing me.
Dale, can you copy Tony okay?
Negative, I can't quite pull him out. He's right there in the noise on me.
Okay, did you copy that, Tony?
I didn't quite get that one. I did hear him check in, though.
Yeah, he said he can't quite pull you out. You're right in there with the noise.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I can get him a lot of times, especially if an airplane goes over. I can pick him up clear as a bell. Then it goes away.
All right, he's got a real good signal, and he's got that beam up. It's exactly the same kind of beam I've got. I'm just wondering if it's oriented right or if he's got some kind of a problem there with it. He should be able to hear you.
Yeah, I understand. I think he was hearing me when he had his Omni up, wasn't he?
No, he can't hear you at all.
Ah, okay. Okie dokie. Well, I hear him. I hear him about half the time. I'd say about half the time he says something, I hear him.
Yeah, maybe we'll figure out what it is sometime. I daily seem to hear you about half the time when you check in. Anyhow, just check him in and out, and I'll get out here and let you get on back to your net, Tony. Thank you, Dale. N4BXB.
Alrighty, thank you, Herb, and thank you, Dale, if you could hear me. And I appreciate you both checking in. And this is KE4 VVF calling the Mecklenburg Simplex Net, and my directional antenna is still pointed west, which is towards West Charlotte, Belmont. Mountain, and Shelby. So any stations in those areas or even further west, if you can hear me, I think Asheville's out that way. If you can hear me up that way, give me a holler. Please call Kilo Echo 4, Victor Victor Foxtrot. Alrighty, hearing no further check-ins to the west, I'll now turn my directional antenna to point northwest of my location. KE4 VVF calling the Mecklenburg Simplex Net. I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina, 1 mile north of the I-85, I-77 interchange. And my directional antenna is now pointing northwest, which is towards northwest Charlotte, Mount Holly, Stanley, Iron Station, Lincoln, and Hickory. And Boone's up that way too. And I'll now be taking check-ins. Any station, any call sign, Alpha through Zulu. Please call Kilo Echo 4, Victor Victor Foxtrot. Let's give one more shout to the northwest, and that would be towards northwest Charlotte, Mount Holly, Stanley, Iron Station, Lincoln, Hickory, and Boone. Any stations in those areas? And this is KE4 VVF back on an omnidirectional antenna, and we're going to see if there's anybody else who wants to check into the Mecklenburg Simplex Net. Any station, any call sign, Alpha through Zulu. Please call Kilo Echo 4, Victor Victor Foxtrot. And the net is pleased to recognize W4LDD Larry on an HT. Go ahead and say something again, Larry. I'll tell you how many S units you got. Oh, wow, you're doing really good. Yeah, I got you about an S5, about an S5. All right, thank you for checking in, Larry. I appreciate it. It was good seeing you this weekend. We're going to miss everybody that I saw this weekend. Next weekend's going to be a lonely weekend. But I will get enough sleep next weekend, I hope. I hope you got to take some naps and stuff, Larry. And it was really good seeing you. This is KE4 VVF of the Mecklenburg Simplex Net. Let's see, before we go to the rag queue one more time, we're going to see if there's anybody else out there who wants to check in. Any station, any call sign, Alpha through Zulu, please call Kilo Echo 4, Victor Victor Foxtrot. And this KE4 VVF here no further stations wishing to check in. We're going to go ahead and close down the formal portion of the net at a time of let's just say 9 o'clock. And I'd like to thank all the participating stations. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't have a net here, and I would just be sitting here talking to myself on the radio. That'd be pitiful. And I'd also like to ask everybody to come back next week, every Sunday, 8:30 p.m. local time, on a frequency of 147.505 megahertz simplex. And those of you not stick around for the rag queue, please feel free to secure your stations at your leisure. And let's go to the first person on the list here, and that's KU4XO, Matt. How you doing tonight, Matt?
Yeah, hey Tony, KE4 VVF from KU4XO Mobile. Yep, doing okay. We did field day. Enjoyed that. I think I made 100 contacts on 20 meter CW. Kind of left out a little early. I didn't stay all night. But I know the guys did real well. I operated from the Whiskey Tango 4 Foxtrot location in Easley, South Carolina. And we were running 3 Alpha. So I think the guys ended up with 400 contacts or 400 Qs. So not too bad. All sections except for Delaware. Delaware was the only section that we missed. So did pretty good. Not a record. It wasn't a record. We didn't set any records for the club, but I think the record's like 500 or 600. So, but we just but we did eat good. We always seem to eat good, and had plenty of food and hanging out with the guys, just enjoying the weekend. And had to leave out early to make it up here to Mitchell. We're camping up here tonight on Mitchell. So I'm at the top right now, right in the middle, I'd say, of the parking lot, and running a NR22L 8-foot antenna in the center of the vehicle with the 2900R 75 watts. And that's about it here. We set up camp, cooked dinner, ate, and built the fire, and mobiled up here. And I checked in with you last time from the campsite location. It's about 300 feet lower than the top up here, so I figured I'd try something a little different. The video didn't turn out last time, so I kind of did a little something different there this time. So hopefully it'll take, and we can get it up to YouTube, so you can listen to all those other guys that are out there, all the local guys in the upstate of South Carolina, because they were in there the whole time you were checking in the net, or working the net. But of course they weren't able to hear you. But I don't know if you want to check them in or if they're still around.
Sure, if you want to relay people in, I'm more than happy to. That tickled me.
Okay, Wes, Brian, Greg, you guys still in there? Oh, they're leaving me out to dry now. It was a long field day. They stayed for the whole event, but I left early. Try it one more time. KS4XQ, N4BAF, or KI4SVQ. Anybody around? Yeah, I think they all checked out. But they were in there. 15 minutes ago. So anyway, you'll be able to see them on the video. That's about it here. We'll let you go ahead and spin it back around. See if you can pick up some more check-ins. I'll be around. I'm not going anywhere. So, I did hear everybody except for the Whiskey 4 Lima Delta HT. But I think you had 14 check-ins. So, pretty good. We'll be standing by. I appreciate you letting me check in. Good net, and you guys have a lot larger group than we do in the upstate South Carolina. We think we have about 4 or 5 people usually in there all the time. But like I said, they're probably whooped after tearing everything down today. So, but anyway, catch you guys in a bit. I'll be around. KU4XO Mobile.
All right, Matt, and I appreciate you checking in with us. And anytime you're up there and you can get a shot down here, just feel free, chime in. There's usually somebody out here almost every night after 9:30. Sometimes it's a little sparse, and sometimes it's heavily populated. And you know how it works, especially in summertime. People go nuts going outside and doing stuff instead of getting on the radio. And but they get on the radio a lot more in the winter. But I bet you don't camp much in the winter on Mitchell. And it's good to hear from you, Matt. And I really do appreciate you checking in. And let's see, let's go ahead and break with Matt and see. Oh, Rodney, W2ROD, Rodney. You're hearing Matt, aren't you? W2ROD. Yeah, hearing him loud and clear. I got a full scale on him here. I think my scale goes up to about a 12, and he's pegging it out. So that Mount Mitchell, I tell you, that's the talking machine up there when you get on top of that Mount Mitchell. I'm sure he can hear me too. But I can hear Larry. I could barely hear if he said he was at Beatty's Ford Road, and it sounded like he said Oaklawn or Oakdale. I think he said, of course, Oakdale, not Oaklawn, of course, but nonetheless, I could barely hear Larry in there, and I heard everybody tonight, Dale up in Ellenborough, I could just barely hear him. Herb was coming in pretty well, and everybody else was coming in okay, but and I heard Howard pretty good tonight, but that's about what went on. I hate that I missed you at field day. I got there and took several pictures and everything. It was right in the middle of the pouring down time of rain. I think it was around 4:30 or so by the time I got up there, somewhere in that area. And I left out of there somewhere around about 5:30, I'm going to guess. But nonetheless, I hate that I missed you up there, Tony. Oh, yeah, field day. I got there about 11, and I left about 4:30. And then I went over to W4CQ. And so I was in Matthews for the W4BFB. And then I went to W4CQ and got there about 6-ish. And let's see. Stayed there. I don't even remember what time I left. I think I left about 9:15 in the morning. So I stayed there all night long. Brought a sleeping bag and a pad to lay on, and got a little time to lay down, but not much sleep. You know how that is, sleeping in a conference room. I hate that. Where did W4CQ? Where did they have their field day at? Well, you know where Archdale Drive is, right? Yeah. Did they just have it there at their normal place? Yeah. At served agency. You can do field day at a served agency. As long as it's not at your house, it's just fine. It's fine for the clubs to do served agencies. And that class is Class F. So they were 4F. They had 4 transmitters going. And let's see, they had of course they had the tower on the roof. Then they had a couple wire antennas up there. Then they put up a 20-meter V, which is an MFJ dipole made with it's easily transportable with a great big tripod, and it's about 20 foot, and it was a V made out of 2 MFJ telescoping 20-meter elements. So it's a 20-meter V dipole. And then they had another, they had a G5RV set up right at the edge of the property line there in the back. So they had a bunch of antennas, and we had 2 KX3s going at the same time. Wow, I wish I'd have made it there. I don't know why. I went up to begin with, to Gaston County, to G-Cars, and went up there and shook a few hands, and left from there and went up to Denver, to Carolina Amateur Radio Society, or Club, and shook a few hands up at Denver. Then come down to Charlotte, saw everybody down here at W4BFB at Matthews. Then left from there and went to Concord, and went to see Greg and Jim and all those up there at Concord Amateur Radio Society. Then this morning I got up and went up to Statesville and visited up there with the Iredell County Amateur Radio Club. Then left from there and went over to Rowan County Amateur Radio Club and shook a few hands. Then left from there and come on back to the house. And if I had thought about W4CQ, I'd have went over there and visited. I wanted to get down to Union County, and the time of the day ran out. I just didn't have. I had some other stuff I need to take care of. I just like to go for the fellowship and shake a few hands for field day. Oh, I absolutely understand. Yeah, a lot of fellowship, and got a bunch of, man, I'm telling you, if I hear CQ Field Day one more time, I might just, I'm hearing it in my sleep now, KE4 VVF. That's all I heard, too. Every time I went to visit, everybody was showing me their setup. I took a bunch of pictures of all the other Field Day people and how they had set up. And basically, everybody had the same setup almost. A few of them didn't have the beams, and I'll admit, the people who had the beams were really bringing them in. If you had the beams, I went to one, all they had was a wire, and it was a lot more challenging with just a wire than with a beam. Oh yeah. W4BFB was 2 Alpha, and they had a tri-bander on a portable tower trailer, and then they had two wires off the tower. I think an 80 and a 40, wire, and then it had CW and digital tent. And I'm not sure what kind of antenna they run. It might have been a Mystery or one of those. But they had that set up in the parking lot. You saw those big bamboo poles that they used, didn't you, Rodney?
I don't remember them, Tony. I've got pictures. I could probably look back. It was pouring that rain. I kind of went from, each station and checked out each one. I went up to John's station, checked it out, then over to the digital station and into the trailer, of course, and just kind of checking stuff out. And while it was pouring that rain, I kind of wasn't paying attention to everything outside.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, most of the wire antennas were put up almost sort of flat top. And they were using about 30-foot pieces of bamboo. And they must have started out about 6 inches wide at the bottom and then tapered toward the top. And that was cool. They didn't have to do the total inverted V thing. They could get them more flat top and get them more directional. And it worked out pretty good. And did you go see the GOTA station where they had put up all those antennas in those trees over there? Wow, that was just like Spaghetti Junction with all the strings coming out of the trees. You couldn't see the wires, but you could see the strings.
I saw all that. I'll tell you what it was, the bamboo, now I know what you're talking. They had it on the street lights, or the lights out there, didn't they? And didn't they come up off of the lamps there in the park? Is that what they had those bamboo on, or some sort of poles?
Yeah, they were lashing them to everything they could. The digital tent, they lashed them to telephone poles. And they were right about the same height as the telephone poles. And let's see, I've seen them lashed to walkway railings, and I'm not sure, I think they lashed them to a street light over there by the GOAT station.
But yeah, it was a sight to see, all the stuff they had out there. I'll tell you, Charlotte, Mecklenburg County Amateur Radio Society, they didn't hold back. They really did it up right. I'll tell you, they had a nice setup and everything. Like I said, compared to everybody, not taking away from anybody else, but they really had a great setup and everything. Well, Tony, my wife just walked in the door, so I hate to break with you, but I'm going to take a break. I am wanting to check in on the others, the 2-meter emergency net tonight, so I want to do that, and then we'll go downstairs and talk to my wife. With that being said, let me break with you. W2ROD, back to net control.
All right, Rodney, be good, and take care, and we'll talk to you again later. And let's go down to Mike, KE4EHC. Let's see, KE4EHC, this KE4VVF. You there, Mike?
KE4EHC, I'm still here. And, man, pretty nice field day. I was encouraged. Some of the some of the newer members showing up and really diving into HF, man, that was encouraging. And I saw that sparkle in their eyes. So I think they're going to be attending field day for quite some time. I was picking up Larry pretty good on the HT. Did pretty good, and my goodness, the station in up at the mountains there, he was just really coming in good. That 2900 was making a very good account of itself. So all in all, I think it was a great field day. Had a real good time there, and made a few contacts, but not a whole lot. And I think it's real enjoyable. And glad to hear that a lot of them were making good contacts. We didn't know if conditions were going to be real good or not. A lot of rain, and I'd heard that possible, the CME and all that stuff in the sun might be affecting the field day, but it seemed like it turned out okay. So great to see Tony and everybody was there, and glad to hear all these other participants there in field day. It's all very good. So 73, and I'll turn it back to you. This is K4 Echo Hotel Charlie.
Alrighty, Mike. Yeah, and you know me. I like the FT2900. That's a really good radio. Used to own two till I sold you that one. And I still like them. I think it's the best monoband 2-meter rig you can get. It just, you reach out and touch everybody, and the receives pretty good too. And thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. It was good seeing you today. Yesterday at Field Day. And sorry, I'm kind of slow on the uptake today. I still haven't got much sleep. And we'll go ahead and break with you, and let's see if Dwayne is home yet, or at least if he's a little bit closer in Belmont. KG4 FSR, KG4 FSR, this KE4 VVF. You there, Dwayne?
If you got a copy on me, Tony, KG4 FSR is still mobile, but heading back towards Charlotte.
Yeah, I got you, Dwayne. Go ahead.
It was good seeing everybody at the field day. I know I didn't stay long, but it's still good being there. Maybe next year I'll be able to broadcast from there or something. But it was fun, and hope y'all had fun after I left. KG4 FSR.
Oh yeah, we had fun. And I heard you went over W4CQ also. And yes, sorry, the fella that I had to talk to that when you left out of W4BFB, yeah, he's like the ASEC, so I had to talk to him. He drove he's from over by Asheville, and he's taking a circuit, so I definitely had to talk to him.
I understand that. You're a very important man, so you gotta do what you gotta do. Sorry I missed you at CQ, but yeah, I got to see about everybody else, and I like that little radio that LDD's got. That's a cool little rig.
Oh yeah, there's two of them. Gary had one. He had it out in the warehouse over there. And Larry had his in the weight room over there. And yeah, it was nice running from Salvation Army headquarters there. They got some good digs.
Yeah, and they got air conditioning too. That counts for a lot on summer days.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Last year when I was over in a park in the middle of the night with the 10,000 June bugs flying around my head, it wasn't quite as enjoyable as being inside in the air conditioning in the club room.
I bet not, but it's still fun, though. Can't wait till it comes in again.
Oh yeah. I tried to come over there. I wish I had been there because I could have reprogrammed your radio.
Yeah, I had it with me, but I didn't even think about it. Yeah, that's mind slipping, I guess.
Yeah, I had everything with me. Had the computer, the patch cable, everything.
Yeah, we'll get up sometime. Hopefully get it back where it needs to be. But I'll let you get on to the next person, Tony. Appreciate you having me on the net. Sorry you couldn't hear me the first two times, but I was over my brother-in-law's working on that fence, and he's down in a hole around a bunch of trees.
Oh, you know me. I'll get somebody else to at least tell me who you are.
That's a good thing. That's what Simplex is all about. I appreciate you having me over here. I'm almost to the house. I'll catch you in a little while. KG4 FSR.
Okie dokie. And I won't be up too late tonight. I only got about 2 hours of sleep yesterday evening, or last night, or whatever it was. And I'm so tired. I don't even know how many hours I slept. And so I'm going to get off here early tonight, Dwayne. And let's see, and you were the last person on the list, so let me go back to the omnidirectional antennas and see if there's anybody else out there who wants to check in. Please stand by. Alrighty, this KE4 VVF back on an omnidirectional antenna. And let's see, we got down to the bottom of the list of the rack queue, so let's see if there's anybody else who wants to get on that list or to check in before we close down the net. KE4 Victor Victor Foxtrot. Alright, hearing no further stations wishing to check in, this is KE4 VVF, and I'd like to thank everybody who checked in tonight. I do appreciate you coming by and participating. And also, you know, we have this every week, every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. local time on a frequency of 147.505 megahertz simplex every Sunday. And hopefully I'll hear you again next week. And if you don't check in next week, I'll miss you. And with that, usually we have to check, and during nets, we have to check, we have to thank repeater operators. But since we're on simplex, we don't got to do that. And everybody should pat themselves on the back for effectively communicating with simplex without the use of a repeater, because that may become very, very important at some point in time in the future. And with that, we'll go ahead and close this net at a time of, let's say, 9:23 local time. And we'll go ahead and return this frequency to normal amateur use. This is KE4 VVF. Thanks, everybody, for checking in tonight. And this is 73. And good night. KE4 VVF clear.